is Curtis Jones's world. And Steve Graves, Rob Gutmann and Neil Atkinson, we just live in it. It is your post-match pint after Liverpool have gone to Porto and won by 5-1. And 5-1, Rob Gutmann, ever so slightly flatters Porto. It does not praise Liverpool enough. That is one remarkable performance in Europe.
Yeah, it might be our greatest ever performance in Europe, quietly. Some may say that it wasn't quite the stage. Some may say you had a bing bad book. I just thought we were magnificent. I mean, you kept watching, you thinking, where's the punchline? Where's the jeopardy? Where's it going to get ripped from under us? Because we're like that, aren't we? Well, I am anyway. But we were just irrepressible. Even when they get their goal, well, we 4-0 up or 3-0, 3-1. And you go, oh, you spoilt it for us now, because this was so perfect. It was so perfect. But in a way, I'm glad they got their shitty little goal, because in a way, it was 5-1 going on a not bombastic 8-1. We were wonderful. There was quality all over the pitch. Curtis Jones, as you said, he wasn't just man of the match. He was a man of the match in a game of men of matches.
Yes.
Nobody played badly. Nobody played averagely. Fabinho, I tutted at him a couple of times and then watched the rest of his performance and went, wow. Everybody was a bit wow.
Everybody was a bit wow. I mean, just very quickly, when they do get there, and I do quite directly, shitty little goal, Steve, what I love is we follow it up with what will genuinely be one of my all-time favourite Liverpool goals. I love a slow goal. I love a despairing chase. And I love the fact that you're not quite sure whether or not it's been given. It is a glorious fourth goal from the Reds. And Jones was brilliant in the build-up.
Jones is fantastic in the build-up. Firmino does everything right. And I mean, the goalkeeper does everything wrong and then everything right. And it's... I felt for him a little bit, because I don't know if he knows at the moment, when he makes the dive, whether it's gone in or not. But it's the finality of the goal line technology that no one can argue with, but really wants to.
Yeah.
It's that kind of like you can see it with him.
Like
and the manager.
He's kept it out.
I just really want to somehow argue with this binary decision. And that just summed up their whole night. The torment. You described it as a living hell when we were watching the game, Rob, for them. And everything was difficult. Everything was hard. Even, they chiseled their goal out of nowhere, which to be fair to them, is credit to them.
It's a good goal.
Every throw in, every clearance, everything they have to work for, all the time. While Liverpool are not working, but Liverpool are just teasing them and pushing them into positions they never want to be in, again and again and again and again. And that was an incredibly hard night for Porto. Without saying that they played that poorly, probably the goalkeeper aside, who doesn't have the greatest of nights.
He doesn't know.
No, he really does struggle, and Liverpool identified that quite early. And Liverpool spent the whole night identifying Porto's weaknesses, and just playing to their own strengths, which are many.
Our own strengths are many, Rob. There was 100 ways we could have won that game, and in the end, I feel like we employed 99 of them. It was that sort of excellence, that sort of performance. You've got the main fella, gets himself a brace, which he deserves. You've got Sadio, nets, looks the part throughout most of the match. Some of his touches were sumptuous. Firmino comes off the bench. If we needed 2 from the bench, there's Firmino with 2 from the bench. Jota plays really well without scoring a goal. But let's just genuinely put all of that to one side for a minute. Let's spend the next 3 or 4 minutes talking about what Curtis Jones has just done.
Well, look, let's start with the overall before we drill down. It's a vintage post-Liverpool 2017 performance. So the new golden age begins in about January 2018. Well, it was early February 2018 where Sadio bags a hat-trick against these, right? That's when the new golden age begins, I think, in truth. Well, although I like the Brighton performance in the autumn before.
But there's bits, but I think you won't.
It's as good as it gets. And it feels to me like it's been a while since we saw one of the performances to add to the collection that were within a league winning campaign, a Champions League winning campaign, a getting to a Champions League final campaign, all those things. That feels like a vintage Liverpool performance. But as you say, within it is the future. The future is Curtis Jones, and it's bright. It's just, I loved Curtis as an under-23s and under-18 player. I saw him doing things which I hadn't seen in his age range since Raheem Sterling. bagging 3s and 4s for fun, totally dominating football matches, striding through them, just controlling, finishing with either foot. If anyone wants to understand what Curtis Jones is, go look at the YouTubes of Curtis Jones in his Liverpool youth pomp. He's ridiculous, right? You've had only a glimpse of it. If you've only watched his first team stuff, you don't know what he is. He's a ridiculously good footballer. Nobody ever knows what you see at youth level, whether it can translate. We are beginning to see it translating. What he does for the first goal, which is a very key moment in the game, quite frankly. It's not inevitable that Liverpool destroy these. They need that first goal. And it happens because of him and his will, and I know it spawns out, but he beats his man, he drops his shoulder, the keeper doesn't know what's happening next. He whips it. After that, anything's possible. And he nearly wins it against Brentford. By the way, quietly, I don't think there's a massive difference between that performance and the Brentford performance, apart from the fact that Brentford aren't supine the way Porto are, right? Liverpool actually played very well at Brentford. You can now see it in that context. Liverpool are now on fire. And I hope I don't live to regret these words, but bring it fucking on Sunday.
Hello Reds, thanks for watching that taster of the post-match pint. If you want to watch the rest of that video, really easy to watch it right here on YouTube. Just click the join button below. That activates the membership. It gives you access to the Anfield Wrap's premium videos, which includes the post-match pint, but also reviews, previews, exclusive interviews, and it means you can follow us, follow them from here, the heart of Liverpool.